Welcome back to OpenLine on NewsChannel 5+. I'm Carrie Sharp. We are trying something new tonight in this era of social distancing and fears over the coronavirus. We are separating our show from the folks we are interviewing, but you are still a part of it. You are welcome to call in and ask questions. We are talking about tornado recovery and also the coronavirus throughout Metro Nashville. And I have Councilman Brett Withers joining me. He represents East Nashville, District 6. Thanks for being on board with us as we try this out for the first time, and it's going great. Let's jump right back into our conversation. You wanted to talk about the Holly Street Fire Hall.
Yes, thank you for that. In the tornado, we definitely lost a major significant building, which is the East End United Methodist Church, an iconic church building from 1907. There's another church building, which is the YCAT building, part of the YMCA, that is right there in 5 Points. It's heavily damaged. It may be salvageable. We don't know. Obviously, lots of houses were lost. And so in our community, the Holly Street Fire Hall really became the rallying cry for the neighborhood that we wanted to save. And the building kind of lost its roof, but otherwise is okay, or seems to be, which is a relief. It's was built in about 1914 and is still a working fire hall, has distinctive porch columns and things of that nature. And the firefighters who work there sometimes play their bagpipes on the porch. It's just, people come over and have meals together. It's such a community gathering place. So the community really rallied around trying to save that. There was some ambiguity, I guess, over during the effort to get a tarp on it, but Mayor Cooper came out and visited. I appreciate Mayor Cooper's support, as well as that of Fire Chief Swan and General Services Director Nancy Whittemore. But we all worked it out. We had to order a tarp large enough to cover the building from Atlanta. Finally they drove it up here. We had all the volunteers stationed there as sort of a central volunteer base. And it was just, there was so much concern in the community about losing that building. And we had our firefighter and police personnel, once the tarp arrived, climbing on the building, a few neighbors who were roofers helping. But it was just such a rallying cry for the community to save that building. And even while that is a little bit on hold right now, there's just, that really is a sign of hope for our community, that we want to save this iconic building that, ironically enough, houses and serves first responders in our community as well. So that was just, that's been really important to our community. And I know that as assessments of the structure continue, and when we have the repairs that are made, that will be probably the sign for our neighborhood that we've made it, is when we can reopen that building and have a neighborhood gathering there, hopefully when it's safe to do so after the coronavirus.
That's such a great story surrounding all of this. And I hate to just transition so tough into the coronavirus here, but I do want your perspective as a council member, how the city is handling this. The mayor's had to lead in a new way. No one anticipated this, 6 months ago. And this is a new threat for us. So what's your assessment?
I think that Mayor Cooper's doing a great job, as well as the task force that he's created. He's worked with, Senator Bill Frist is heading up a fund. So I think there's a lot of support, and Mayor Cooper's done a great job in responding to this, which is different. We've had tornadoes and flood in the past. This is a whole new endeavor. So one of the things that many of the small businesses in East Nashville who were bars or restaurants that were closed, they've been trying to find ways to keep their employees employed. And so one of the things that Governor Lee did that was actually really helpful to our businesses, I think that Governor Lee could have done more than he did sooner. But one of the things that he did is to allow an exemption of the rules for liquor by the drink, so that bars and restaurants that are serving takeout are now able to include cocktails or mixed drinks in their deliveries, as long as food is provided. So that is a really new thing, but for some of our businesses in East Nashville in particular that really rely upon those alcohol sales, that really is throwing them a lifeline from the state to allow them to continue to sell a large part of their product offering. Otherwise, certainly Mayor Cooper's doing a great job. We need more concerted effort from the state more consistency from the state. This isn't necessarily a partisan issue. We have Republican and Democrat governors in different states who've taken a much more proactive stance on it than Tennessee has. I appreciate the things that Governor Lee has done so far, but really encourage him and encourage constituents throughout the state to keep the pressure on to Governor Lee to make decisive actions that are proven to be effective.
In your neck of the woods there in East Nashville, the mayor has called for safer at home, asking all non-essential workers stay at home for the next 14 days or so. Do you think people are taking that to heart already?
I do. I think that a lot of people are out jogging, walking dogs, and things like that. Those are perfectly fine things to do to get out of the house and get some exercise, as long as people maintain the 6-foot distance between themselves. That appears to be fine to do. But I believe that they are, at least for now. It's just sticking to that for 14 days is going to be more of a challenge than people anticipate. So it's one of those things where the only way that it works is if you stick to it and adhere to that regimen for the duration until it's safe to come out again. So we need everyone to really stick to it.
How are the council meetings going to look different going forward? I know kind of things have changed over the past couple of weeks. What's in store for the next meeting?
Well, a really important development is that by state law, Metro Council or board and commission meetings cannot happen electronically like we're meeting right now. That doesn't count as a vote toward a quorum. And so the state legislature had been working on changing those rules, but they recessed without changing that. And that would have effectively shut down all Metro government, business, board and commission meetings and council meetings, unless we got together and sort of risked our own and other people's health. So one of the things that Governor Lee did, which is a good thing, is that he issued an executive order that allowed Tennessee board and commissions to hold electronic meetings, sort of just like we're doing now, as long as the public is also able to participate in them. And that will at least allow our meetings to resume. The one meeting that we did have, we had to meet in person, and we observed, we're spaced out throughout the chamber. And all of those items were urgent based on time-sensitive deadlines. It included budgets for things like road paving, some affordable housing provisions. So we met for as brief a period of time as we could in order to deal with things that were the most pressing and the most benefit to our community. But now it would appear that we will be able to resume having Metro Board and Commission meetings and council meetings electronically, and sort of just like you and I are doing tonight. We're going to see how it goes. But I think that other cities are doing the same, and it'll be a new phase of participatory democracy. So we'll be looking to Vice Mayor Schulman to find a way to recognize council members and community members who wish to speak during public hearings. We're not sure what that's going to look like yet, but I have a lot of confidence that we will be able to do that as long as folks have access to some sort of an online device to dial in, and not everyone does. That's part of the challenge.
I think no matter what profession you are or where you serve or how you do it, we're all learning new ways to do our jobs right now across all spectrums. So, Councilman Withers, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
I'm only disappointed we didn't get to see your cat. Maybe next time, right?
Maybe next time, right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great night and stay healthy.
Thank you. Stay safe.
We will. This does not end Open Line tonight. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to be joined by Councilmember Freddie O'Connell from the Germantown area to talk about many of the same topics, tornado recovery and also coronavirus. It is still your chance to call in and ask your questions. Don't be bashful tonight. The number's on the screen. We're coming right back after this.